TWM Podcast. Hello, I am Matty Deller, and this is Best of the Rest, your Friday roundup of the odds and ends in your wrestling week, a part of TWM Podcasts, bringing you your 6 days a week dose of all things professional wrestling in the big wide world of professional wrestling, available in all the usual places: Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Acast, Podbean, TuneIn, YouTube, wherever else you get your pods. Do you want some wrestling swag, especially around the festive season? Then go and check out squaredcirclebox.com. Use the code TWM News for 10% off your first order at squaredcirclebox.com. I have mentioned my name. Joining me this week on your Friday, we discuss random bits and bobs from the internet / WWE network. It is Joseph. Hello there, Joseph.
Yo, what's up, wrestling people?
Thank you very much for joining us. I know, but it's not just us two, because as we jumped on to record this, I got the message from Joe. By the way, I'm not on my own. And I went, oh, is it Dan? Because normally then Dan just starts screaming down the microphone at me to try and deafen me through my headphones. And he went, no. And I said, oh, is it your other half? Like, are you around hers? He goes, no. And then I hear the words of, hello, Marty. And of course, you have heard him on several podcasts. Just in passing, he is basically become a character of our lives. He is basically our Princess Diana in many ways. Drunk Neil is in microphone vicinity. And he did watch NXT UK, so he might just chime in with random thoughts in between playing, I think, his Nintendo DS or Switch. I can't remember which one they said off pod.
He's actually just on his phone right now. What are you scrolling through? Virgin Train's not running anymore or some shit. I don't know.
In-depth conversation. Right, we actually have got a packed one. We've got a lot to discuss, so let's jump right into it. While Joe was in Canada, I decided to make the decision to watch Starrcade. That was an error. So I'm going to quickly discuss Starrcade, and we'll forget about it that ever happened, because not going to lie, Joe, this did just seem like WWE wanted to put some random content out on the network for content's sake, because one, nothing happened, and two, massive bait and switch on this show.
You know what it seems like? It seems like somebody from the Rhodes family has upset WWE, so they're just dumping on one of their legacies.
God damn you, Goldust, what did you do? I know who you meant. Yeah, it starts off, we have Kevin Owens' show with Ric Flair. Starts, as you mean, to go on, because there's immediate mic issues where we can hear Kevin Owens, but we can't hear Ric Flair in the arena.
To be honest, based off his live mic promos recently, isn't that a good thing?
This time he didn't say anything that bad. He did. He was putting a lot of people over.
His mic wasn't working.
He put over WWE, Owens, and then rambled on. The OC interrupt. They reference Botch Club, which was weird, and then Owens mocks them for being bald, and we go into, of course, naturally, the Street Profits over the OC. This is a house show, remember, because they just recorded a house show, so all the matches are incredibly house showy. Basic tag match, Street Profits hit the Spinebuster Frog Splash for the win. The ref dicked up the count, so the ref counted 3, and the crowd went 1, 2, 3, 4, because the ref fucked up the first count. They play an instrumental of the Street Profits theme rather than with the rap, which was weird. Again, house show. Then we get a backstage segment where Bayley and Sasha Banks talk about getting out of Georgia with the tag belts. And I'm going to say this now. I want to be positive, and it's great that they've given these guys a new lease of life. I don't like their characters at all, from an analytical standpoint. Sasha Banks just being, I'm so rich, thanks Vince, I appreciate it, just seems dumb, and Bayley hasn't got a character anymore. She's just vanilla heel number 2.
I'd argue Bayley didn't have a character before she turned heel, so nothing's changed. As for the Sasha Banks thing, it's fine. I find it very interesting that she's essentially Bayley's Sami Zayn now.
She pretty much is, and yeah, and she's doing the thing of the Sami Zayn situation of where it's I'm doing all the same thing I did before, but now I'm a heel. It's instantly more annoying. And yeah, just not a fan of it.
It's working for me.
I just don't like it. I just generally just not. I'm not invested in it.
One thing I will say is that their facial expressions are incredible.
I'd probably scope out that a little bit more.
Like when somebody's cutting a promo on them, their facial expressions are utterly astounding.
Oh, the one with Lacey Evans, I do agree. They were very, very good with that. Then we get to the women's tag team title match, Kabuki Warriors over Bayley and Banks, Bliss and Cross, and Lynch and Charlotte. Becky Lynch is on this. She wasn't on Raw in over 2 weeks though. There's a pay-per-view next Sunday. Don't forget that. And they're going to plan all of it literally the week before. It's a very house show match. It was okay. Asuka makes Nikki Cross tap out to the Asuka lock. It happened. Now, the reason I wanted to watch this is I was really intrigued to see the Rusev-Bobby Lashley match, and even if they did some sort of segment with it, I was hoping that maybe we'll get some sort of big brawl regardless. No, we just got a massive bait and switch where Lana goes on and on and on, and I guess it works because no one fucking likes her. We're not getting a last man standing match. Rusev's been restraining ordered again. Lana cannot say VIA, so she says VA. Says Bobby Lashley win this match at VA forfeit.
YM.
VA. And then I will say again, Tom Phillips, I do miss him on commentary because he's always very, very quick, and he turned around and asked if the latest restraining order is in feet, days or miles.
To explain, she fumbled one of her lines and said that the restraining order was in... Wait, what was it she said?
First of all, I'll just explain to Drunk Neil for exposition, who is sober, so he's sober Drunk Neil in this one. She first off said, oh, you cannot come within 90 days of me. Then she said 90 miles, and she went, sorry, I'm flustered, I meant 90 feet. Because measuring is hard. The bonus of this, by the way, Joe, is you did get probably your favourite commentary combination that doesn't include Booker T, which was we got Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton doing this show. So
yeah.
So after all that, we've been waiting ages for Byron Saxton to return, and he returned back twice in the space of 2 weeks. One in a very weird pairing at Survivor Series with Aiden English, and on Starrcade. Owens then cuts them off and mugs them all off and calls them out for... Basically, she also calls out Lana for losing her Russian accent, and he basically says Lashley's not over. And they're going to have a match, which was Bobby Lashley over Kevin Owens via DQ. This was massively underwhelming. The match was passable, but there was nothing to write home about. Owens hits the stunner. Lana causes distraction, so the ref misses the 3 count. Lana grabs a chair, but then Rusev attacks Lashley for the DQ. I will say, the brawl at the end was pretty good, but I'd rather they just did the brawl rather than have the bait and switch match. They fought all around the arena while Rusev wore a Bob Ross t-shirt, which popped me massively. Yeah. Would you say that Starrcade was a happy accident? It was an unhappy mistake. I'm never watching one of these again. You can stick your Starrcade and your Smackville up your ass, WWE. It's not worth it.
I've got a question.
Yeah?
What's worse, this or Blood Money? Any of the Blood Money?
I'm trying to think, because you know what? At least with Blood Money, we got something to be like, this is shit, but yeah, because like the last Blood Money, we got Mansoor versus Cesaro, which was actually a really good match. The one before that, we got to have a massive giggle at Goldberg Undertaker.
You forgot Tyson Fury as well.
Tyson Fury before that. The one before that, we got to laugh at Kane's mask falling off mid-match. The one before that, we got Shane McMahon best in the world. So honestly, this morally, the Saudi Arabia shows are worse, but content-wise, Starrcade was worse by a fucking mile. This is going to be interesting because Neil has a very limited knowledge of wrestling, but he watched NXT UK, so this is literally like saying, oh, I've never watched football before, and then immediately taking you to your first game being like a Belgian Division 2 game. It's been like, get involved.
No, like, I explained it to him as some of the best technical wrestlers that the WWE have, but some of the worst charisma levels.
Yes. Actually, Joe, should we switch around? Can I do NXT UK just with Neil?
No, what? Calm.
Yeah, Neil, come on. We could talk about this.
No, like, this is the thing, actually, consent. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, listening to this podcast, I do need to say one thing. Consent is important.
Yes.
Are you happy for Matthew
to do NXT UK with just you. Marty.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Sorry, yeah, he will call me Marty and I'll call him Nell throughout this. So, Nell, let's talk about NXT UK. So, there was a match between Jordan Devlin and A-Kid that was really, really good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the guy, the flying dude.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was good. I mean, it was probably the better match of the what's it called? Pay-per-view? Yeah. And
The show.
The fucking event. People are there watching it. I don't know. People paying for this event. It's paid per view. It's fucking expensive.
I'm already so happy I made this decision.
Yeah, so Kid A, the Radiohead guy, he had some good. He was a good acrobat. I liked his.
Yeah, he did a moonsault DDT that was really, really good.
Yeah, then there was what was it? The Irish dude.
Yeah, Jordan Devlin.
Devlin, the guy with the crazy finishing move.
Oh yeah, what is it like the
Devlin inside?
Oh yeah, he pulls your arm and then it's like
he pulls your arm, then he eats you.
He eats you. What is it? He eats you. Yeah, that was a
no war here.
Yeah, that was alright.
What do you think of the guy outside?
Oh, you mean Chris Hemsworth? Yeah, he looks
Chris Hemsworth. That's Tyler Bate for anyone who's listening.
Oh yeah, he kind. I mean, at first glance, he looked like Tom Hiddleston, but then I saw he looked like Chris Hemsworth. Then it looked like he looked like a combination of the two. So I assumed that it was the love child of Loki and Thor. Which like Joseph said, that Loki's probably gender fluid or some shit. So it's not out of the realms of imagination.
Joe, you are aware that we are going to do a future series on TWM Talks where we get Neil to watch wrestling he's never seen before. This must happen.
I'm going to veto this. There's one pay-per-view every year that Neil watches.
Is it the Rumble?
Yes.
Oh, we need to do Neil reacts to the Royal Rumble, definitely.
I used to watch wrestling when I was a kid, and I think the last match I watched that I remember was when I think it was Kurt Angle won the Battle Royale when I think Batista got injured and he had to put the heavyweight championship up, and Mark Henry was just steamrolling over everyone. And then Kurt Angle somehow pulled out a Hail Mary or something, and he won. That was, I think, the last match I watched. I don't remember when that was. I think that was like 2000s.
That was 2000 and WrestleMania 21. So 21? Yeah, 21.
No,
yeah, so it'd been 2004. 4? Yeah, 4 or 5. The main event was a summit between Joe Coffey, the Gallus, the football hooligan guy, and Volta, the giant Austrian dude. Apparently Joe Coffey's a face now, even though he's a football hooligan.
What are we talking about?
The conference.
At the end.
Fucking signing.
Yeah, signing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, with Claudio Ranieri on the... Yeah, okay, yeah.
Claudio Ranieri. Is he talking about Johnny Saint?
Yes.
Oh, God. That is really true as well.
Ranieri, and then Boyle from Brooklyn Nine-Nine doing the talking.
Oh, Sid Scala.
And then the dude who came out dressed like the inverted Sans from Undertale, and then like fucking that other dude with the weird jaw who came out to that
Dvorak, yeah. Did he just, Joe Coffey was dressed like an inverted Sans?
Yes, he did.
Jesus Christ, this is generally the best thing we've ever done. We're getting Coffey versus Volta. I will say to Joe, this is a match that, just a joke, this is a match that no one wants.
Joe Coffey?
Yeah, his name is Joe Coffey.
This is a blaxploitation movie.
His brother's Mark Coffey, and they run around with someone called Wolfgang. So possibly.
Alright.
We realise that Gallus is a massive blaxploitation staple. This is what you've just realised through Neil.
No, I knew that from their theme being the Kool-Aid guy.
Imperium jumped Ilya Dragunov, and he went through a table. We then also had a triple threat match with Joseph Connors, who me and Joe rag on almost on a weekly basis, along with Kyle. He beat Travis Banks and Ligero. This is Neil. This is easy. This was the match with 3 people in. So this is.
I know how to count.
I know. I mean, which one match we're on. So you had Ligero, the guy with the mask. Joseph Connors, the guy without.
I saw a promo with the 3 of them, and there was a guy with a mask who had the Union Jack on it, and he looked like the embodiment of Brexit.
I've said that so many times about that mask. Oh, this is brilliant.
And then when they all came out, there was that Connors dude. Joseph Connors? Yeah, he came out and he looked like he was, I don't know, going to walk or something. And
right, Neil, I'm going to ask you a question. You saw these 3 people, Travis Banks, Ligero, and Joseph Connors. Out of the 3, which one do you think we constantly talk about that we don't care about, and why are they on TV?
Joseph Connors
is the right answer.
That's only because Joseph actually told me.
Okay. Yeah, it was surprisingly good. Then we got the start of the show.
No, it wasn't surprisingly good. It had 2 incredible wrestlers in it and Joseph Connors.
Again, the prefix that he always needs is "and Joseph Connors" because he can never be on his own.
All right, one of my friends in Zoidberg.
Yeah, it is. Actually, Joseph Connors is the Zoidberg of NXT UK.
Thank you, Neil. You've made a meme.
Why not Connors? We opened with Tony Storm.
What he was doing at the end of the match. I belong. Need a match for Takeover? Why not Connors?
I'm so gonna now make that when we finish. We opened with Tony Storm over Killer Kelly, and Killer Kelly is yet to win a match in 2 years on NXT UK.
Oh, that's kind of shit. She should sort it out.
I don't. We don't know why it happened.
You were like, wow, who's that? And I was like, she's not won a match. She exists.
Kaylee Ray attacked Tony Storm post-match, and Piper Niven made the save, but she was not happy about this. I feel maybe Tony Storm's. I think we were right last week. We said Tony Storm's probably turning heel.
This is where Amy Schumer attacked that bitch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Neil.
Jack or something.
Piper Niven
with a Converse.
Yeah.
Convinges. That's the plural of sphinges. Sphinges.
But like Converse, I suppose.
The Hunt went over the outliers. We can. This is the best thing ever.
Dressed like Val Venus.
Yes, the 2 guys that were dressed like Val Venus. Against the Hunt.
And the bald guy looked like the main villain from The Mummy.
But like we don't.
He really did. He really did. That's a very good point.
What?
The bald. What's it? Dorian Matt. I can't.
We don't care about how many wrist locks you know. We care about how many wrist watches you own. And you said
that was like a bloody John Cena rhyme or some shit. That's the fucking worst thing I've heard since I cut you up like cucumbers. Again, but what was the other one he said? I'm like a swole dick, I can't be beat.
Why do you remember these things?
I've got a good memory in that regard.
With the mic in my hand, I'm a bad man.
I mean, then you have that, and that's like decent because it's not bad. But then,
John Cena isn't even the worst rapper on that one.
The Hunt beat the Outliers. This match needed more Robbie E. It's a shame he wasn't there. And to close NXT, this remarkable moment in professional wrestling history, they are teasing the Ginny and Jazzy Gabert breakup already, so that alliance was a complete waste of time.
What did he say about Ginny when she popped up on the screen?
Oh, please, dear God, please don't let it be inappropriate.
No, it was the 2 people with the blonde woman standing in the back, and she stormed off.
Oh yeah, she looked like she had the kind of face, when someone like farts in a room and then they just have to like look like, oh, why the fuck did someone do this? Oh, when you're in the tube and then someone smells, you're like, oh, who is this repugnant bastard? And then like they just then you storm out because you're just so overwhelmed by the stench of disgrace.
This was the best idea that I think me and Joe have ever had. This podcast, and indeed all TWM podcasts, are brought to you by SquaredCircleBox.com, the only place for your monthly wrestling box needs. With things from superstars from WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, British Wrestling, Independent Wrestling, and loads more, it is the only place that matters if you want to get the best wrestling swag for a low price. That low price is just £25, people. What a bargain! And you can get snapbacks, t-shirts, magazines, DVDs, trinkets, whatchamacallit, doodads, you name it, they have it each and every month. And just because you listen to TWM, you sexy people, you get 10% off your first order. All you got to do is use the code TWM News in the checkout. Just use the code TWM News in the checkout for 10% off your first order at SquaredCircleBox.com.
Why not spread? I said, why not spread the gospel of the TWM squad with some of our lovely merch over at Teespring? We have t-shirts for all shapes and sizes, hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, and loads more. Also, just for listening to this podcast, you can get 10% off your order. I said using the code podcast. That's podcast. Once again, podcast in the checkout for 10% off at teespring.com/stores/TWM-wrestling-merch. That's right. Praise. Testify.
Impact opened with a really good triple threat match between Michael Elgin, Eddie Edwards, and Brian Cage. It started off as a single match between Cage and Edwards that Michael Elgin interfered in. But yeah, Joe, this was a fantastic match.
Yeah, it's just a pity it didn't have a winner.
Well, no, but they eventually had I was about to go, no, I think you'll find. Then I realised, yes, because one of them is a garbage human being that doesn't exist. Both of them.
I don't know her.
I don't know her. Impact, we said before, we said it on the other wrestling, that other wrestling show. I generally forgot the name of it then. That other podcast, that was what it used to be called. We said that Impact are just very, very good at the opening matches that keep you hooked, and this was a very good but very, very long match. But the key thing we need to take from this is the state of Eddie Edwards' hair.
Yes, what the hell was that?
I don't know. It's upsetting.
Like he went down into the Brooklyn sewers, gathered a bunch of rats, snipped off their tails, and then plaited them into his hair.
You hate to see it. You just hate to see it. I also felt that the Eddie Edwards character has now kind of run its course. Like, just let him go back to being a wrestler now rather than being Tommy Dreamer 2.0. No one cares.
He's still got a cash-in thing.
He has. This is true. Didn't he cash that in against the X Division title?
He didn't.
Oh, okay.
He didn't. It was about his wife.
Oh, okay, yeah. We also got ODB returning to Impact, because actually this was quite a nice thing that Impact detailed all the profits to I got distracted, by the way, because they're doing a Jumanji time with The Rock and I'm a Celebrity, and generally distracted me.
You see that as we speak.
Yeah, as we are recording this. So you can tell we're not recording this on a Friday. ODB returning back really lovely, because Impact gave all the profits for their shows in New York to ODB because her food truck burnt down, which is a really, really cool little thing for them to do. She got put down by Knockouts champion Ty and sent to a match in the main event. Where Jordan Grace and a drunk Johnny Bravo caused Taya to get rolled up. It was nice of them, obviously, like a really nice touch to give the proceeds to ODB in a time of need. And also this seemed like a really nice fitting, almost farewell that she didn't really get from her first departure from Impact.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen ODB before in my life.
She was like she was like one of the 10 OG knockouts when they first started in the women's division, like in 07, 08.
I'd never seen her before in my life, but I liked her vibe. She reminded me of a beta version of one of my favorite wrestlers,
which is you cut off, so I hope it was Nah.
Martina.
Oh, Martina, yeah. Like, if anything, the stuff that Martina does is like based off the ODB brand. ODB was signed to WWE at one point, many years ago. Yeah, with this character. But yeah, then she left. She was in developmental. Then she left and joined Impact, or TNA at the time.
I wonder why she left.
I wonder why. I'm pretty sure this may have been under the old DeMott era, but I cannot comment. Taya was very, very on point with her heel mic work. I thought she's very, very good on the mic as a snotty heel. So big thumbs up for that one. This was a very fun match. It wasn't amazing like the opener, but it was solid and good, and it puts over them leading towards Jordynne Grace against Taya, hard to kill. So all good.
I really enjoyed ODB just ripping Jordan to shreds and her going, well, this is awkward. Money to rock. Need some help tonight. I'm here. I'm a big fan. Bye.
I did enjoy Johnny Bravo getting shit-faced on ODB's booze and running around screaming, "I'm the champion," with the bell. Yep. Lads. This show was nice.
By the way, Neil, this guy spelled John, middle name E, Bravo, to avoid copyright.
Why would you model yourself after Johnny Bravo?
What? Because he couldn't get I Am Weasel. So it's the superior character. This show was quite nice. This show was quite nicely paced, like big matches and little segments, solid opening and ending. We did get the continuation, Joe, of Moose, Mr. Perfect, with an anger issue.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. So this guy Moose was legitimately a linebacker for the Patriots.
Yes, Patriots and someone else, but I can't think of the other team. It was definitely Patriots.
Yeah, but like he's legit been on Super Bowls and stuff. Now he's a wrestler, and he beat Ken Shamrock in our pay-per-view match.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, but like that match was one of the worst matches I've seen all year. But he beat him.
Yeah.
Why was it so bad?
Ken Shamrock's old and Moose. It just didn't work.
But Ken Shamrock is old and Moose is inexperienced.
Yeah, even though Moose has been wrestling for 6 years. Yeah, but then like I love the fact basically he beats up these two guys playing basketball. But what I love the continuation, the guys knew that he was going to beat them up. He's like, no, we're not letting you fight. We're not letting you play us. You beat people up on TV. We've seen it before. Tessa Blanchard and Sami Callihan ahead of their match at Hard to Kill. They have their press conference and things get heated. They play heel and face very well because Tessa puts Sami over and then Sami just complains and threatens to crack her skull in, which was just great stuff. We also got Ace Austin and Reno Scum go over the Rascals when Trey got distracted because Ace started chirping Trey's mum, which was tremendous. I don't know why I enjoy these stories. They're just really, really fun.
Yeah, so like the equivalent of the Intercontinental Champion in Impact, right? The secondary title.
I love that this has now become me telling what everyone's having on Impact and you talking to the people listening, just explaining to Neil what happened in Impact this week.
No, this is actually really bad podcast content. No, I thought this was brilliant. I did think that this was brilliant.
It's great. I've loved all of this. I love Ace Austin being this person that just goes, how am I going to win my matches? I'm going to fuck any one of your family members.
Like his previous feud, he tried to fuck his wife.
Right.
And in this feud, his current number one contender, his mum comes to ringside.
So he's trying to bang his mum.
Probably not his mum, because it's a cougar who's Botox to fuck. But anyway.
Rob Van Dam continues to cut the best promos of his career, saying that he's the greatest wrestler of all time, and just having his girlfriend just twerk and touch him up in front of everyone, and just all really great.
I can't wrestle tonight because I can't wrestle this no DQ match like we used to do in ECW because I've got a girlfriend and my girlfriend's girlfriend to look after.
That bit made me laugh. I popped massively for that. Really, really good.
Yes.
Rhino and RVD have a big pull apart brawl, and Dreamer suggests a match with Tommy as ref because Tommy Dreamer will never leave. I also did love that Rob Van Dam did a full Toru Yano shrug on the ramp, which you love to see.
which you 100% love to see. My favorite thing is that Tommy Dreamer really does need to go away. Ever since that day, he compared Dusty Rhodes to Martin Luther King.
Oh yes,
he black people. What?
Oh god. Meanwhile, in the undead realm, I'm just going to talk over that bit. In the undead realm, Susie, Neil, I'm trying to do a podcast. Stop having a conversation with Joe.
It's your fault. I'm bringing me on here, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I told you to do NXT UK and then go about your business. You decide to stay here and keep talking.
And I love this game.
Meanwhile, in the undead realm, Susie and Met Havoc via James Mitchell, and I'm sure this won't go horribly wrong in the long run between them lot, and someone won't die again. And then we got Pete. What do you say, Joe?
My money's on the dude.
Pete Williams over Johnny Swinger, which I did love, because Swinger's trying to recruit Joey Ryan into his clique so they can bury the young talent, and Ryan just goes, yeah, sure, but then doesn't turn up when he asked him to help him beat Pete Williams, which was just really funny. Pardon?
I vaguely remember.
Pete Williams was mini Scott Steiner.
Oh, God. Oh, you want that video?
Yeah.
Right. We're going to
go on this.
Right. Now we've finished the actual wrestling portion of this. We're going to get Neil to stop talking because we need to talk about our favourite part of the show, and you know what that is. It's Total Divas time. This is the part of this is actually the first part of the 2-part series finale, which is disappointing. But
because now we're gonna have to review any B house show that the WWE decides to put on instead on this.
No, I'll literally find anything else. We will review fucking Ride Along if we have to. I swear to God. We get pre-cap and recap for tonight's episode, and we get the conclusion of Ronda Rousey breaking her hand, and she goes, why not? It's already broken, so I'll keep punching with it, which is literally something that no one should ever do, ever. We didn't get to the end of the match, and Nia sprays a little bit of the bubbly, and it's all celebratory. Ronda goes to the trainer's room and hopes it's dislocated. Wrong. Her hand is completely fucked to buggery. She said it was worth it because it's now baby making time. Nia Jax is
hashtag impregnation
vacation. Nia Jax is ready for a drink and talks about this being the hardest year of her career so far, and she gets emotional about missing the road life and says she'll be back stronger, better than ever, and in my opinion, probably in time for the Rumble. So we will see.
She's been like. You know what? It's the best way to reintroduce her. Malcolm Bivens has been mentioning her for months, and then it turns out she's the one who took the CD player.
So, are you saying Nia Jax comes back to Rumble with Malcolm Bivens as her manager?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like,
I would want that though. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a great way to get her in people's minds again, because everyone knows Malcolm Bivens is probably the best account that WWE has.
I would like her to come back, so also it stops Nia cutting promos to just have Bivens cut promos for her. Perfect. Literally traded Faye Jackson, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. You hate to see it. Natty wants to have a nice dinner where they discuss her dad's ashes, and I'm not sure if that's mutually exclusive. Everyone agrees where the ashes should go, except one person called Muffy. I did feel for this, and I feel like this might just be posh white people, but there are too many old people saying the word daddy over and over again. It's really upsetting.
What was the first text I ever sent you?
Fuck you, Joseph.
Right. Natty says they've got a lot of daddy to go around. I hate saying that.
It was a lot of daddy to go around.
And that is the name of this week's podcast. He was a big lad, to be fair. Rhonda says it's baby making time in Vegas. They're in Vegas because Travis Brown's coach is getting married, and Rhonda. What made me laugh is Rhonda goes, "Chase me," like she's a 70s UK sitcom. Oh, chase me, chase me.
I'm a massive tough.
She asked the cameras to leave so they could do the deed. Anyway, Dad's Ashes, part 1. They find a tree that reminds them of Jim. This is so sweet, but so weird. And Joe, I really don't want to find this funny, but this whole segment I was laughing at.
Well, go for it. Keep talking.
Just them going, oh, look at this tree. It's kind of big around the middle, like our dad's. It's a fucking tree. What the fuck? And Natty talks about their family being closer than ever, which is true. And as we said, Joe, this is the overarching storyline of Total Divas has been Natty's dealing with grief. And
it's Natty's storyline.
Yeah.
Everyone else has their own. There is more story to come, guys. Trust me on this.
We then cut to Maui. The Bellas are there, and they're going to plan to get laid, and they get stopped for photos. They plan to surprise the girls for this Divas holiday because they told them they weren't going, but swerve, Vince Russo. They called dibs on the double room. Rhonda and Trav, meanwhile in Vegas, are looking to book a helicopter for his boy's wedding. Rhonda is annoyed because this is not baby making, and they go shoot stuff because Ronda Rousey's a maniac.
Ronda Rousey is just America, isn't she?
She just
America.
She's like the most doomed.
Red, white, and blue, stars and stripes. Barbecue for lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Exercise my Second Amendment rights. Plead the Fifth because of all the really sketchy shit she did as a teenager. Just
The Bellas go get on it somewhere. They talk about Natty's struggles following the Hall of Fame. The Bellas eat a prawn cocktail because we're in the 80s, and they talk about Mella post this Nia chatting shit. Nikki is confused by this because it's a lie, but we realise that the Bella twins are just adults because they don't deal with this drama and they want to talk it out. It's amazing that we realise out of all the Total Divas, the Bellas are the mature ones.
Well, this is the thing. Half of the current cast have an excuse because they are a little younger. But and Natalia has an excuse this season because of the obvious. We talked about it.
Yeah. And Nia has an excuse because of her injury.
But yeah, I think we're good. Really.
Yeah. The Bellas then talk about wanking because they are the most ridiculous people and we should all love them. Anyone that hates the Bella twins, I don't understand you because they are fucking hilarious.
If the entire world just masturbated a little bit more, everyone would be a bit happier.
You're not wrong. Natty arrives in Maui, but forget that shit because you know who else arrives in Maui, Joe?
Oh, flipping heck. The heel turn begins. Everyone has that friend.
Oh no, I'm not even on that bit yet. I'm talking about our favourite person first.
Oh, Chaotic Neutral Liv Morgan.
Of course, Chaotic Neutral Liv Morgan has arrived along with Mella. Then we get to our second heel turn of this season. It's a quick one. They've done it. Sonya Deville is that girl who brings her other half without asking.
She's that person who brings the other half without asking.
Yeah.
Neil, we all have one of those. Who was it in your life?
Is Neil pleading the fifth like Ronda Rousey?
He is. Really obviously shrugged at me.
We have lay-based banter. No one cares about Ariana turning up at first, except Natty, who has rules for all of the fun.
No, this is the thing. I get where Natty's coming from because, like I say, and you know what? Later on, I'm gonna jump ahead here. They get there, and later on, they're greeted with a certain amount of cocktails, but they're not enough.
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff. You call ahead and say that.
Yes,
I've been in this position. You call ahead and you say, "Oh, by the way," if you're gonna do it, at least have the decency to say that. You know?
Yeah. So clearly, she's just done it, and we realise that it's ridiculous for how bad Sonya Deville gets in this episode, which is a shame because we have been putting over Deville as a genuinely lovely human being throughout this entire thing.
Oh, and you know what? That's the beauty of most heel turns, isn't it?
Yep, you didn't see it coming. You never saw it coming.
Never saw it coming.
Natty wants massages, and she disregards Ariana as a woman. And yeah, they enter the house and we basically get an MTV Crib style video of the entire thing. Natty does not know how to say Ariana, and we see reality TV is fake because they cut back and Natty is wearing this very nice dress and wearing trainers. She's dressed like Lily Allen in the early noughties. There's some hula girls there. And it's me, Austin. Nope, it's Bella's.
Like, when they walked in and they saw the hula girls, I was like, how did they not know?
Those hula girls look remarkably similar, like two former Divas champions. Oh my God, it's the Bellas. Natty is surprised at the surprise. She says it's the best trip ever. And then I wrote down, give it 10 minutes until that goes away.
No, this was the best trip ever. It wasn't.
Or you could do, this is the best trip ever. 5 seconds later. Mella feels awkward with Nikki Bella being there. Natty talks about it being weird and not seeing the Bellas at Mania. They all feel old, and then I realise how old I am, that Natalia and the Bellas are considered now the veterans of the WWE Women's Division. I'm old.
They're doomed, aren't they?
Sonya is becoming majorly try-hard with Ariana, and Ariana feels rightfully awkward. And Ariana's rightfully mad because Deville didn't think that it'd be a big deal. This will be a theme of the entire episode.
Just a mess. And you know what? It's really awkward, and only I can say it on this podcast, but it sounds like Magical Negro Naomi is going to come in and fix everything.
We can't. That will never be a podcast episode, unfortunately, Name. We can't do that. Back to Vegas. The Rousey Browns are off to the gun range. Let's take our minds off wedding planning and shoot some guns. Jesus fucking Christ.
They don't even get to shoot guns because they get interrupted, don't they?
Yep, Trav's wedding planning stuff, and Rousey's annoyed because Trav is doing what he's meant to be doing. Calm the fuck down, Shooty McTurferson. His mate asked him to check out a venue because nothing has been planned, because that's what you do. You go to Vegas for a wedding and with all your friends and don't have anything planned at all. So they immediately leave. Mella feels weird, re Nikki, after Nia lying to them, and Nikki wants to talk to Mella, re Nia's lie. Things are awkward. Then shots. Nikki Bella has everybody! I was doing a better joke than that, and you shouted at everybody. God damn it! I was doing the shots and then saying Nikki has assist. I was just do the hard swerve. But yes, the Bellas were going to come back, but Nikki has assist on her brain, and I genuinely forgot about this. I forgot this is the reason why they didn't come back in the end.
I didn't know about it.
She announced it on some talk show that she had a cyst on her brain, so that's why they didn't come back. Total Divas, they are shook by this, so Mella wants to clear the air, read the whole Nia lies, and they reconcile because this is lovely, because I love Carmella and I love the Bella twins, so I'm happy that they are all friends again. They get on it and Brie mode is activated.
Brie mode. Jab thing. Sorry.
Trina's bailed on another trip again. Don't let your husband drive you to the airport then was my overriding thing to this.
Yikes. Not driving.
Joseph sings the hits. Remember what he said? Until he actually seriously hurts someone, we're allowed to make fun of him. Natty wants Liv Morgan in Money in the Bank, and she wants others, and Sonya takes it to heart because Deville is in try-hard mode and will not calm the fuck down.
While Sonya Deville is with her girlfriend around company, she becomes
like ultra macho, like ultra alpha female she wants to be.
It's not the place for it.
No, it's not time nor place. They learn to hula dance. Sonya has no rhythm, isn't trying, so gives up because try hard in front of Ariana mode is activated.
She just doesn't want to look dumb because she's a sorry.
Well, yeah, it's a funny thing. I think I don't want to do like the male stereotype role, but it's almost if that she insists on trying to act almost in air quotes the man in front of Ariana. And
no, it's not even that. It's not even that. We can take it deeper for that. She wants to seem infallible,
Yeah, that's probably a better way of putting it. You are right, yeah.
She doesn't want to see show any vulnerability in front of her girlfriend, in front of other people.
Yeah, so that makes more. That you are right. That's probably the more correct way of putting it. But then me and Natty agreed, and I'm like, why are me and Natalia agreeing? I don't like Natalia. Back to Vegas. They sit down at dinner. They have oysters cause sex. Ronda wants to chill after a year and hashtag impregnation vacation. How did I get that wrong? Trav's phone goes off.
No idea.
And I just go, how do you not have a wedding without any plans? What is going on? Ronda is annoyed.
Like, what happened was they were meant to get a hot air balloon, but the hot air balloon company cancelled because the weather looked bad. So they were meant to do this, yeah. So that's the reason why they were running around for all of the episode.
Ronda's annoyed, Trav's annoyed, as she's annoyed, and I feel Trav is in the right here.
Trav is generally always in the right with these two. Have you not noticed?
Yeah, no, it is. Ronda is fine, as in she's going to snap Trav's mate in half when eventually. But then Trav gets emotional about love, basically to shut Ronda up. It works. He basically buries her in red roses again to stop her moaning. In Maui, they sit down to dinner, and Liv nearly flips the table over a bug because Liv Morgan is the best.
Liv Morgan she needs to be main roster next season.
She does. She's so good,
especially if it's Tyler who's our opposite number.
That might mean we might get sassy best friend Trent Seven on Total Divas.
Yes, it'd be incredible.
It'd be amazing. Natty spills the tea about Ronda.
I'm actually not talking because I'm just so happy imagining it.
Natty spills the tea about Ronda not coming back, and the Total Divas are shook for the second time this episode. Natty doesn't bring up Sonya Deville again, and she is triggered, and all I wrote down was, calm down, Menine, it's not real. Natty doesn't mean anything by it, and Sonya is pissed, and now Natty is pissed. Natty brings up Ariana in a nice way and calls her out for it, and Deville takes the naturally try-hard response and says, we'll leave. That lasts all of 30 seconds because Sonya doesn't want Ariana to feel uncomfortable when Sonya is making Ariana feel uncomfortable by herself.
Doomed, you know. If this was anywhere near real, they're doomed.
Yeah. Mela calms down for being try-hard, and Sonya seemingly calms it. The wedding is here. The hot air balloon thing happened, and that thought of many people in a hot air balloon terrifies me.
Yep.
Horrifying. Trav cuts a pretty decent wedding promo, to be fair, and they talk about love.
Is it rough to say that he's a better promo than his wife?
I'm up for debate that I'd agree with. Maui, Natty and Liv go surfing, and Ariana joins them because she's an adult and Sonya Deville is still in try-hard mode. And the Bellas are the full-on mums here, being full-on balanced between all of them. It's brilliant seeing the Bellas play the mum for all the little baby Total Divas. It's so funny. And then right at the end, we thought we weren't going to get one. We get the Liv Morgan quote of the show where she shouts out, Natty, you're on your period and sharks like blood. You love to see it. Then we get Mela and Sonya shouting out bad words. They dick about on a stripper pole, and Natty and Liv can't surf for shit, so they keep just falling off. But then Sonya gets a call. Natty and Liv are heading to the hospital. Dun, dun, dun. Next week, topless people trin boxes and arguments on the season finale of Total Divas. I don't know what we're going to do about Total Divas, to be honest. Like, generally, it's been the highlight of our Fridays, discussing that week's Total Divas. 5 ever in our hearts and minds.
We can just review Starrcade again and again and again.
Should we just start from the beginning of Total Divas? Go back to season 1. Just review them instead. If you want to...
Then you'd have to rename this podcast the Groundhog Podcast.
Twitter at TWM Wrestle. So is our Facebook and Instagram, all at TWM Wrestle. Subscribe to us on Apple and Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Acast, Podbean, YouTube, all that good stuff. TWM.news if you want to go get involved with all our stuff we have on there. Joe, social media?
At Kami
At Harvey Harris.
Oh God, you find it.
Neil, do you want to give out your Twitter as well?
Why would you do that? No, no one would want to look at that.
Give out.
Why I don't ever give out my real Twitter. I gave out TJP's Twitter account of the last podcast I hosted because I felt bad for it. At Harvey Garcia.
Cool. Neil, just give out someone we know's Twitter account. Anyone we know.
Someone we know.
Yeah.
Okay. You can reach me on @MichaelGove.
For fuck's sake, Neil.
Their mad copy.
At Matty ID, at TWM Wrestle. Please follow us. This has been a mess. God bless Drunk Neil. He is our Liv Morgan and we'll never forget it. Thank you for listening to Best of the Rest. We'll see you next Friday.